I mean, this really seems to be where the rubber hits the road. And, just a little preliminary, of course, what happened last week is the president's agenda stalled, no pun intended on the infrastructure, but the bipartisan infrastructure bill didn't have enough votes to pass without also having a major social infrastructure bill, but that didn't have enough votes to pass in the Senate. So Schumer and Pelosi and Biden were kind of stuck, and that's where we are right now. They're trying to work things out. So what do you think they should do, Tom?
Well, they have a heck of a dilemma on their hands right now because the size of the reconciliation bill is going to have to go down in order to meet the demands of Senators Sinema and Manchin from 3.5 trillion down to 2 trillion. That's about a 40% cut. That's huge. And today or yesterday, President Biden met with progressives to basically tell them, smell the coffee, wake up, because the size of the packet is going to go down. And the only question is, how will it be cut? What will stay in the bill and what won't? So he's sending that message very loud and clear to the progressives that it has to be cut. He's also meeting with the moderates today to tell them that they have to get on board to vote for the soft infrastructure if they want their bipartisan bill to pass. I think that the big problem that the president has right now in the Democratic congressional leadership is to take a bill that is that large, 3.5 trillion, and to pare it back is basically to tell members of Congress, and not just the members of Congress, but interest groups, that the things that we promised you, the things that are in the bill now that you've been counting on and you've been telling your constituents to bank on, some of that's not going to be there. We're going to have to take stuff away. And, all of us who've been involved in politics know that it's a lot easier to give than to take away. And so it is frankly going to be an ugly process. And there's going to be a lot of screaming, probably some of it public and other private, in terms of what gets cut, whether it's childcare, whether it's climate change provisions or tax credits, the whole education, for free education, pre-K, how long it's going to last. These things are going to have to be pared back to save money. And people are not going to want to agree to do that. So it's going to be an enormous challenge to get it done in a relatively short period of time.
After Biden's meeting up there, one thing I noticed from everybody coming out of it, it seemed that they had at least agreed on a message, which was this: we shouldn't be talking about the number, we should be talking about the policies.
Absolutely.
So instead of, getting into the 3.5 versus 1.2 or Manchin's number versus Jayapal's number or whatever, do you think that that's a good way to go?
Oh, absolutely. I think from their standpoint, that's exactly the way to go, because if you talk about the policies, according to every poll I've seen, are enormously popular when you break it down. Providing additional childcare to people who have jobs, or single mothers who need somebody to take care of their kids, or free pre-K, or free tuition for community college. People like that. It's extremely popular. It's off the charts. But when you just get into the numbers and into the personality fights about, well, Manchin will accept this, but Bernie Sanders will take that, then it gets into a Washington parlor game, and people are just fed up with it. They don't want to hear about that. The numbers, people get lost. 3.5 trillion. It's a number which people can't get their minds wrapped around. But the policies work. The problem is, I don't think the press is going to follow the policies as much as the numbers and the personalities, because that is sort of that gets more clicks.